Hello peeps, how you doing? I'm on the side of a road overlooking a lake. Well, it's not a lake actually, it's an inlet. Just around the corner there, goes out to the Adriatic. Seen a couple of sailboats go by, had a couple of motorboats go by, a couple of cars going too fast go by. Every now and again somebody toots their horn. I give them the V. Or is it the I could still operate my longbow? Where am I? I'm Kotor, Kotor. 40 minutes from the Croatian border, which I hope to cross tomorrow morning, and then drift on up towards Dubrovnik. Follow the coastline road up the Adriatic Highway. Take a week to do that, and then I've got 10 days to get over to Germany. I'll tell you more about that next time. Next week, the universe being willing, in fact tomorrow, I will officially become an old age pensioner. That means when you see me, you've got to give me a chair and a blanket, make sure I'm comfortable, bring me tea and stuff, biscuits, as long as they're vegan, I think. But I'm going to get out of the way and let you look at this view, because it is kind of nice, kind of beautiful. Snow-capped mountains reflecting in the water. Yeah. So, who am I? I'm a drifting, rhyming, sometimes trying to draw, but watching stuff, and I like it. It's quite a nice place to be. Downside is that I'm bored of my own company. I've been to bars every now and again and had a couple of conversations, and most of them can't understand my lifestyle choice. I went into a roadside cafe the other day, beautiful view, and I sat there, and it was quite busy, restaurant bar thing, and I was looking at the view, and I got my notepad out and I started drawing it, and people moved away. Strange time, beginning of February for me. Got the birthday coming up, and that's like, wow, another year. And then it's like, wow, another year older. Wow, another year. But also, the beginning of February is the anniversary of the M62 terrorist bombing, 74. The IRA put a bomb on the back of a coach ferrying soldiers and their families from Manchester to Catterick. Killed a few, and one of my comrades in arms was sat at the back of the bus. Most of him was vaporised. 18 I was. I think he was a bit younger. And it yeah, sometimes it just slips by, but sometimes it just, yeah. Then also, to make February even weirder, I heard on Facebook somebody died, and it was the guy that seduced my wife, or she ran off with, or whatever, back in Cyprus, back in 80s, 83, 84. And it was kind of like, I don't know, I didn't feel any remorse. Just strange. Almost relief that I can go to a reunion now and not have to bump into him. No, I don't know if I'm going to ever go to a reunion again. I'm not sure if they're going to accept some drifting poetry and hippie. But I got a blazer just in case. And I put my ponytail up, comb my beard. I should do that more often, you know, because it gets really knotted, but there you go. So, I mean, this guy, I'm not saying he messed up my life, but he had a devastating effect on it, because I was away in England on a course. My wife was out in Cyprus with my children, and he was my deputy. I was a detachment commander, he was my deputy. So while I was away, he got higher rate of pay, moved in with my wife, using my quarter as a love nest. Devastated me. And also my children. I mean, I still have not got a decent relationship with my daughter, and therefore a decent relationship with my granddaughter. And financially, the CSA were just kicking in then, and the squaddies were an easy hit. If you were separated from your family, they just went to the paymaster and took a third of your pay. And did that. They still reckon I owe them money. Just devastating. I mean, I was on happy pills and temazepam and all sorts for long times afterwards. But he's gone now. The closing of somebody else's book disturbs the air. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go back to a story of daring do. After 28 Seas, Krefeld, I went back to Catterick to upgrade my trade. There for about 8 months with the family, and then went from there to RAF Ladbroke. Now the new skills I'd gained, making me a telecommunications mechanic, the Army didn't use a lot of, but the Air Force did and the Navy did, and NATO headquarters did. So from there I went to RAF Ladbroke after that course, and RAF Ladbroke was one of the 4 flying air bases the RAF operated in Germany. It's on the Dutch border near Wieze. And we ran their ground comms, their telephone systems. It was, you know, there was about 25, 30 of us squaddies. There was an engineer squadron there as well. They did run and repair, but they were normally away doing engineering things. So we were the only squaddies on the base, about 5,000 people. They were blue jobs or crab fats or whatever. And we were pongos, because everywhere the Army goes are pongos. So, yeah. And on these bases, they used to have what they called tachyvalves and maxivals, and they had a few other fancy names and all, which was basically an exercise. And they'd seal the base off, and we'd go on there for a week, 10 days. And sometimes it would be a crash out, and you'd get all the sirens going off, the police cars going up around the quarters. Everybody had to get in within 2 hours, I think it was. They'd seal the base, and we'd be on there for 10 days. Doing stuff, or pretending to do stuff. And you used to get, we used to have like 3 men in a Land Rover Cruise looking after the comms on these bases, and a control centre. And one of these crews got called out to an incident, and you know what you do, you go driving around there, you get stopped with some guys with some white armbands, with pass you a piece of paper, and this is the incident you've got to deal with. And I still know this guy, I still talk to him now and again, but he got stopped at this incident, and there's been an explosion and there's casualties. And one of them's got a label around his neck, and he reads the label, and it's got grey matter coming from his ears, sucking wound to the chest, amputation of 2 limbs, commence what you would do. So we picked up his submachine gun, cocked it and pointed it at his head. The Dutch staff were not impressed with that. He said, well, I can't save him. put him out of his misery. But anyway, and then there's another guy I know. He spends a lot of time with a van. He's got a big yacht. He's the guy I met in Belgium on the way out. He come up on one of the groups yesterday, and we were talking about things going wrong when you're working on phone systems. And all these air bases had what they call a QRA, quick reaction alert, and all the other bases had a couple of interceptors, fighters. We had 2 nuclear-armed bombers. You know, when they rolled, things were really going to get strange. We would get nuked soon afterwards because we would have been targeted anyway. But he said he's working on a cable, and all of a sudden he hears an alarm going off, and an RAF police car goes screaming out to the gates and opens the gates to the QRA, and the planes are running up their engines and starting to roll. I think you got in a bit of trouble for that one, but hey, these things happen. So yeah, and I also found out why officers have 3 telephones, because we used to have 3 phone systems on these squadron bases, on these bases. One that was mainly supported by the Bundespulse, but we did the cable and the actual handsets. One that was completely run by us, and then a local squadron system for each squadron. And what it was, if they got a phone call and somebody asked them a question, and they might have to make a decision, they could say, just a minute, and pick up another phone and ring somebody else and ask the same question. So they didn't actually have to make the decision. And the 3rd telephone was just in case one of the other 2 wasn't working. But anyway, that 21 Signal Regiment, 21 Air Support Signal Regiment. I went to the Falklands from there as well in '82. But that's another story, another day. So anyway, I'm going to read you a couple of poems, and let you get on with your lives. And I can't remember what I've got the glasses. There they are. My poetry tells me what mood I'm in when I'm writing. It kind of lets me express it, lets me analyse it. From wild Atlantic Way, now Adriatic Highway, just some of the places I've made my way. To do it shared is 10 times squared, better than alone with just a phone. I love my home, I do not moan, but sometimes alone can bore to the bare bone. Lots of things in your head left unsaid. And this is about the message I got the other day, or the thing I found out about. When something deep strikes your soul, where do you go? I find it me drains, no tears, rain, just spirit slow, as I process this bit of mess, then pick up and onward go, if a little slow. And now I'm going to try something really technical. I've got a poem written on here, which I should be able to open up and read, and the camera still works. Except I can't see my mouse. Oh, this bloody technology. You just think you got it sus, don't you? I'm going to have to move you a minute and get it out of the light and see if I can see where my mouse is. See the mountains all around. There's Bill. I still can't find mine. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Right. Now, hopefully the camera's still working and you're still looking at that while I read this. What do you hold dear to help you this life steer? Have you some God with a escape pod that will give you the nod? Or are you on your Todd, knowing it is you that holds the glue to keep you true? Do you have a book of rules to use as tools to keep from fools that don't hold your true? Did you choose or someone else's ruse give you their truths? If you need a prophet's plot, a God's guide, that's not to hide. But don't disrespect those that don't see the need for that safety net. If on your journey the glue that keeps you true somehow isn't cured through, and you lost the true, take heart, some paths have to part. Do you share with great care and keep someone else there? Do they know that to you they can go, whatever their foe? If alone, don't moan. You may or may not find your own, but know, whatever it's you that holds the glue to keep yourself true, and maybe someone will find you. Just be there for others who dare. Just be there for others that need care, to help fight their bad flair. Now, if I can get rid of that, and I'm still filming, I'm going to read you this. I told you about the Christian missionaries I met when I was first got into Albania. They're all young. I think the oldest was 28. They were from all over Germany, all over Europe, Northern Europe, Swiss, Danish, German, Dutch. Great, really nice people, but yeah, had quite an effect on, made me think a lot. So anyway, one of them sent me a poem. He asked me to share it, so I'm going to share it with you guys. And this is Albania. This is about Albania, and he's titled it "Dear Albania." What love is there in this country? Your beauty is covered by plastic on the street. But what do you have to offer? You've changed my perspective on a few things: money, jobs, people, culture, and God. You surprise me beyond expectation. In you we come to know God in a new way. As a provider, but you're still poor. But what is wealth according to you? Is it a lot of money and always food? Or beauty, or the beauty of life? It's beyond our understanding as trash gets burnt in the middle of the street. I hope people try to love you the way you love them. Everyone walks all over you, yet they don't know you. We can pay you back what you do for us, yet you don't demand anything and keep quiet. Sometimes you might want to. Thank you, Albania. You will never be forgotten. Well, that's me today, peeps. I'm on the netbook again, so I hope I don't have to do it again, because I think I fixed it, but you never know. Might have to do it all again. The beauty, I just wanted to make a comment on. It is stunning, but the ugly is stunning too. I mean, there's a wheelie bin dumped in the water down there. There's a bin here, and the litter's all here. The driving is terrifying. The parking is just... It seems you can park wherever you like as long as you put your four-way flashes on. Or don't. Fine. Anyway, I'll be older from another trip around the sun, and Croatia next time we speak. Happy travels, peeps. I love you. Stay safe. And if I can get this to work, click.